Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So this is Dr. Sturgis again, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to do the Excel analysis for first homework in Business 560. So what I did was I just got the HR analytics data set, which you can get from the course website, and then I just selected the first 250 cases. So this way I can show you how to do the analysis with the actual data. However, your answers are, of course, going to be a little bit different than mine. So after that, a good practice when you're doing an analysis in Excel is just to select the variables that you're interested in. Otherwise, your screen's going to be too wide and there's just not enough room to do your analysis. So as you can see here, I've already calculated the values for the first few variables, and I'll do the same thing for age. And it's relatively simple. All you're going to do is select the appropriate cell. You can go up here to the formula bar, you type in an equal sign, and then you select the particular function that you're interested in. So for this first one, we want the min. So this dialog box, you just click here and you just select all your data values. Click here again and you can see down here it's given you the answer 19. So click OK and it puts that in the appropriate cell here. And the min, what that's saying, of course, is that the youngest person in this particular data set was 19 years old. Um, for max, again, it's the same thing. Click the equal sign, come over here to the function you want. We want max. Click here, get the data you want. Gives you the number here, 59. So what that means in simple term, the max, the highest value, means that the oldest person in our data set is 59. Um, Another way to do this, of course, you probably already know this, but when you have data in a table, you can just ask to sort smallest to largest or largest to smallest. And you can see the first few people here, they're 19 years old. So that makes sense. Our min is 19. We want to double check our max. We're coming up to 59 here for the oldest people, and so that's correct. Um, for the median, same thing, equal sign. When we look for median, click there, select our values. Click here, you can see it gives us the answer, 36. And if we wanted to double check this again, the median course is just if you put these values in order from lowest to highest. The median is just the one that's in the middle. And so a quick way to see if your median is makes sense. Put those lowest to smallest. So we've got 250. So our Middle case should be here about 126, and so it makes sense. 36. All these people here are 36, so our median makes sense. Mean, again, click up there, equal sign. Instead of calling this mean, Excel calls it average. Same thing. Select all your values. Gives you the answer there. We click OK. So the mean, again, just the mathematical average. So that just means if you added up all these values and divided by the number of values, then that's the number you're going to come up with. Same thing with standard deviation, equal sign. For the correct one, it's this one here, STDEV. Gives you a description here. Gives you the answer here. You click OK. And so that's how you get your values. I'll point out a couple of other things here. One, you want to make your table look neat so that the presentation is good. So I'll switch over to this tab over here. And so over here, I've just formatted these values. And so, for example, I used monthly income. We know that that's measured in dollars. So I, made that 2 decimal points and put the dollar sign in front of it. The other thing that I did with standard deviation and the mean. So if you look at over here, when we calculated it, it gave you a bunch of decimal places. Um, Typically 2 decimal places is fine for mean or standard deviation, and so it just looks better if you round that off to 2. The other thing you'll notice is that I didn't calculate a median or a standard deviation for attrition. And again, attrition, if we look back at the data set, attrition, it's just either a 1 or a 0. And we're assuming in this data set that 1 means that the person left and 0 means that the person did not leave. It does not explicitly say that, but that's what makes the most sense. And so again, that's one disadvantage of working with Excel as compared to a statistics program like SPSS, is that in SPSS, you could have that coded with variable labels and you would know what the 1 means, you know what the 0 means, so forth. But in any case, since that's just a binary 1 and 0 variable, the median doesn't really tell you anything important because again, the median is just the middle number. And so since we know most of the cases are 0 because the mean of 0.16, that means that 16% of the cases are coded 1 or that the attrition rate is 16%, we know that it's going to be 0. And so if we want to sort smallest to largest, again, the median, we'd be looking at about 126. And we can see that we don't get a 1 in this data set until 212. So of course we know that the median is going to be 0, but it doesn't really tell you anything important. So I would not calculate a median for a binary variable. It's the same thing with a standard deviation. Again, a standard deviation, what that's telling you is how dispersed are your values as compared to the mean. A low standard deviation, so that means that the values tend to cluster around the mean. A high standard deviation relative to the mean means that the values are spread out, they're dispersed. Um, but with a 0 and 1, there's nothing to cluster around. Your values are either 0 or 1. So standard deviation just doesn't make any sense. Again, so when you do your homework, and if you were doing this type of analysis for your job, you want to make your tables look good. So I would format it so that it looks something like this, so that when you select this and you put it in Word or whatever, you've got an attractive table. In any case, this wraps up this video. In the next video, I thought I would make a third video just so these videos don't get too long. In the third video, I will show you briefly how you make the charts that the homework asks you for. So until then, take care, and we will see you next time.